Hello friends. The module we are covering today is titled as Role of Facilitation Skills in Raising Group Effectiveness. The focus of this module is on facilitation. We hear these words very often, facilitation skills. Now when we talk about facilitation, normally what comes to people's mind is a training program or some sort of a group activity in which somebody is doing something. In this module, we are getting in touch with how facilitation is a very important process which we need to cultivate to bring about group effectiveness. So what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the importance of group activity, A. B, we are going to be also talking about the importance of people working consistently with a fairly good amount of comfort zone, sustaining them in the organization, and also feeling happy about it. Now, to make this thing happen, it's important for us to know certain set of processes which we need to put into action, and that I call it facilitation. So let's take it further. A brief introduction about what is in store for us. We work in an interdependent world of people interaction. We don't work like commandos, we work in teams, and we are interdependent to each other. We are not independent, we are not dependent, we are interdependent. In this interdependent interaction, every member is putting in his or her might, his or her full capacity in the best possible manner. We need to take a very optimistic, positive stance saying that everybody is doing his best or her best towards the group fulfillment. There's a group goal given and everybody is definitely working towards making it happen. Many a time in real experience we find that this is not the case. We find that people are not giving in their best. Either capabilities is a question, or it's possible they are not motivated, or maybe a set of other factors. The second bullet point tells us it implies, what does it mean? When people are working together, it implies automatically that communication and comfort levels within the group needs to be effective enough. When we work in groups, our individual self-expression is not possible to be done all the time. At the same time, we want to work together. I'm not an island. I work with other people together. There are some people who are not like me, and there are some people who are like me. So when I'm in a group, there's bound to be a certain amount of give and take of opinions, some suggestions, and the communication need not be to my liking. But I've got to work in a group anyway. In other words, every member of the group needs to facilitate one another towards a goal, group goal. Each of us needs to facilitate, a key word which I've underlined. Now, what is facilitation? In a facilitation, it has a new role to play in the corporate world today. Today, when we talk about organizational communication within, making things happen, we need to facilitate. And this module is all about facilitation. How do we facilitate? How do we make this process happen? What's the purpose of doing it? What's the price? What's the payoff? What sort of qualities we need to develop to be a good facilitator? Mind you, all leaders are facilitators, but facilitation, what we are discussing today, is not about leadership. It's about the way in which one connects to people and gets certain things organized in terms of processes. Why is this significant? Facilitation is significant because we come across groups and teams that are working on challenging projects that involve complex processes. When we are working together, today the whole working atmosphere has changed. It's a global working. We've got virtual offices spread all over the globe. 80% of businesses are service sector oriented. wherein we are dealing with people and their emotions, not with products like before. And a lot of things are linked with each other. And when they're linked with each other and it's all across invisible, the most invisible thing is a human emotion. When we're dealing with people, we communicate, but are we feeling comfortable? That's a question. So there are very complex processes, so many things, small things, they add up to give you the service. Take this example of I talking to you right now. It's coming through a very complex set of processes that are happening. I'm on the camera right now. I'm speaking to you. You're listening to me sitting at your home when you watch this video. In between you watching this and my recording this, there's a number of things that are happening. And you will appreciate that this has to happen smoothly, technically as good as it can be. At the same time, all of us who are involved in this process, steps of converting my talk into your listening meaningfully, these steps, these processes are a must, they need to be done. Now there are human beings involved in this whole process, from me, behind me, in front of me, and beyond the people who are in front of me. So there is a whole lot of things that need to be done even for a thing like a video shoot, right? Now, these complex processes involve a certain amount of coordination is a word that we use often, coordination. Does coordination bring about the type of things that we're looking for all the time? Let's explore. To stay competitive and thrive, organizations, that is for organizations to stay competitive and thrive, we need to have people working in harmony. I'm sure all of us will agree that we need to be harmonious with each other when we are working, right? But we are not here for only creating harmony. We are here to achieve some corporate goals. So we need harmony. We also need to be effective in achieving the goals. We need to stay together with team spirit. It's nice to say that we are working together, but are we really having this team spirit? Do we rise to the occasion when there's a team effort coming up? Remember Chak De India, team spirit. Do we have this team spirit? And do we continue to stay? That's very important. Do we continue to stay with comfort zones? Each of them is very important. First is working in harmony. Second is we are effective. Third, staying together with team spirit. And last but not the least, continuing to stay together with the comfort zone. Am I feeling lovely? Am I feeling excited to go to the office every day, to the workplace? Do I feel good about myself? Do I feel like staying back and stretching myself beyond limits? These are things that are very important thing to be noticed today. We talk about attrition, we talk about people leaving organizations and going, good people leaving, and we wonder what's going wrong. The answer to this in my module, which I'm talking to you about right now, is facilitation. Let's take it further. We need to create a climate of comfort and effectiveness, and this is very critical. There are people who create comfort, but effectiveness may not be there, and vice versa. There may be people who create effectiveness, but the comfort is lacking. What we call it as a laissez-faire leader, comfort, a person who may be allowing people to be happy first because for him that matters. On the other hand, we have an autocratic, hard-driving leader who is very effective in getting things done, but people may not be as comfortable. Two different extremes. Now, this is very critical. We need to create a combination of these two in a proper mix. The process of making this happens through facilitation. If I want to have this done, to my mind, as a trainer, as a behavioral trainer, as a leadership trainer, facilitation is a key to this. It's not about training alone in a training room. It's also about people coming together and making certain things happen. It's a win-win situation. So, what is it? It's about facilitation, and facilitation, very briefly mentioned, is the art of enabling processes. The word is enabling. We enable processes. We make things happen. Instead of coming in the way of the things, we make the things happen. We enable processes at the same time maintaining and enhancing human meaningfulness. I can enable certain things with a group of people who are working with me. I'll make them do certain things, I'll help them out. But if my helping them out is not going to bring about certain meaningfulness in their work, after some point of time, they would switch off. It's a very tricky thing. There are leaders and leaders, there are group team leaders, team heads who get things done and they get processes enabled and they do it by different means. They don't create great discomfort. But in the long run, what happens is after some time, people somehow lose interest, they leave and go. There's a connectedness up to a point, beyond a point, there is a disconnect. Now, this is a very important point to be noted because at some point of time, the connect becomes a disconnect. And that's where facilitation plays a role.